Okay. Question two is, what does a good leader look like? Like, who are good leaders? How do we judge who a good leader is? So, Jacob, Chris went first last time. So, I'm going to let you go first this time. What do you like? Shape me your leader. Like, what do you see in that person?
I see we're starting off with the easy questions off the bat, but yeah. So I sort of want to break it down a little bit because right in the United States we have federalist structure where you have federal leaders, state leaders, local leaders, all ideally focusing on different realms. And I'll narrow this down a little bit to looking at political leadership. And when I'm looking for a local leader is I'm looking for someone who is focused on addressing right your everyday issues, someone who is, cares deeply about the community they're from and is working towards that. And, I'll sort of look at that for state leaders too, but I'm also looking to see, do they have that broader focus? Do they have that are they able to see just beyond, whatever district they're coming from to address the concerns of the whole? And federal leaders, ideally, I'm looking for a federal leader who's willing more than whose first instinct is to leave the rest of us alone. But more seriously, I'm looking for someone who, I don't know if this is strictly, what you consider a traditional leadership trait, but especially at the federal level, I'm not looking for someone who's a micromanager. I'm not looking for someone who's going to write bills and policy and focus on little issues, right? The federal government has its own lane, or as we call it in Hawaii, kuleana. And the kuleana of the federal government is big national issues, international issues, and I'm not looking for someone who's going to be, some TikTok star or want to be TikTok star focusing on whatever local controversy there is or, what have you. So trying to put a little bit of a different spin on it. And obviously, up and down the leadership chain, I'm looking for someone who's trustworthy, honorable. I'm looking for someone ideally who's not touched by scandal or isn't suspected of corruption. I think especially over the last 8 years, looking for that type of leadership and someone who's not afraid to tell the truth and to be honest. And maybe, if you make a mistake, take the hit on the chin, right? I think when you look at two president or, successful presidents, JFK and Ronald Reagan, they took ownership of where they fell short, ownership of the failure of the Bay of Pigs. And that was important for people to see, like, hey, we made a mistake, we accept that this went wrong. And then Reagan took ownership of the Iran Contra scandal, and that restored people's trust in Reagan, which was starting to go wobbly because they saw someone who acknowledged they screwed up and took responsibility for it. So especially after Trump and Biden, looking for someone who's willing to take responsibility and admit when something hasn't gone right.
So, thank you. What I hear there is you want somebody who's solution oriented, who has geographic ties to the community, who can see the big picture, who understands the limited power of our government, who's virtuous, will make good decisions, but when they make bad decisions, they'll take responsibility for it and own their mistakes. Is that what I hear?
Pretty much sounds so simple when you say it.
You said it all, not me. And I think that's exactly what people should be looking for in a leader.